Now, the NASCAR drivers that I like. The top 12 are Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jimmie Johnson, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, Martin Truex Jr., Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson. I used to like Tony Stewart in 2016 after his Sonoma win, but after his retirement, Erik Jones takes Tony Stewart's place in the 8th position. Carl Edwards just stepped away, without even telling us, stepped away from NASCAR, and Daniel Suarez replaces him for the time being after he wins the championship in the Xfinity Series. So Daniel Suarez takes over Carl Edwards' spot in the 9th position. Denny Hamlin is 10th, Ryan Blaney is 11th, and Aric Almirola is 12th. And my others are Austin Dillon, and, well, I also like Kasey Kahne. Question number 8. This comes from a friend of mine on YouTube by the name of Jimmy A. Johnson, who also helped me out in a couple of my YouTube videos. He was honored to give the command to fire the engines in a few of my diecast races, and he was the one that actually set up the starting grid in the inaugural NASCAR Legends 400 back in 2016. So, shout out to him one more time. And he asked me, what's my favorite color in soda? My favorite color is red, and my favorite soda has got to be Pepsi. It's gotta be Pepsi. Here we go. My top favorite sodas are Pepsi, Sprite, Coca-Cola, and 7-Up, as well as Canada Dry, Canada Dry Ginger Ale, and Ginger Ale Cranberry. I like that as well. Mountain Dew, I really like. I hadn't tried that in months, though. I like the Mountain Dew Pitch Black. I hadn't tried that in September or October. I can't actually remember, but I do remember trying it in late 2016. And that's the top favorite sodas I like. But my number 1 favorite is Pepsi. And a quick shout out. I used to like Mellow Yellow in the summer of 2015. But as soon as when it hit me, when I drank it up, 5, 10, 15 minutes, my stomach begins to ache. And I nearly puked because of it. So, it just comes to show that my body, I should say, clearly doesn't like Mellow Yellow. In fact, here's a NASCAR fact. Kyle Petty used to be a Mellow Yellow driver in the early 90s. And in 2015, not too long ago, Kyle Larson was paying tribute to Kyle Petty's Mellow Yellow color at Darlington not too long ago. Question number 9 comes from Dale Jr. Fan Forever Jr. Nation. He asked me 2 questions. One was, what was the first NASCAR race I've ever watched, and why was I interested? The first race I watched was on November 3rd, 2002. I keep remembering this race like it was yesterday, and I still remember to this day, 14 and a half years ago, the 2002 Pop Secret Microwave 500. The NASCAR Winston Cup race, which is now known as the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, at Rockingham Speedway, which was won by Johnny Benson. And if I remember correctly, Mark Martin came in second that race. And why was I interested? Well, I just really enjoyed how fast the cars went, and for some reason, I just was clapping and cheering when they went around in circles for some strange reason, and I'm laughing about it now, and I was screaming and shouting when I was a lot younger, 14 and a half years ago, when I was watching my first NASCAR race. I was yelling and screaming for the drivers when they went around in circles. Well, ovals, first of all. And they go on road courses, too. But yeah, I just really enjoyed how fast the cars went. And the first NASCAR race I watched was the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series race. Back then it was called the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. At Rockingham Speedway in the fall. For the Pop Secret Microwave 500 on November 3rd, 2002, which was won by Johnny Benson. Alright, question number 10 comes from the same friend of mine on his YouTube account, and he asked me, what was the first NASCAR race I went to? The 2011 Pennsylvania 500, which was won by Brad Keselowski. The race, I enjoyed it, but I didn't like those dark clouds having the whole race. I mean, there was some sun here and there, but I just really didn't like the race being all cloudy, you know. But other than that, that was my first NASCAR race I went to. And the second race I went to was 5 years ago at Pocono in 2012, which was won by Joe Logano. I went there in the same year once again, which was won by Jeff Gordon. And yes, I was soaked when I got home from that race. I was soaking wet. I went to both Pocono races in 2013. I went to the first Pocono race in 2014, which was won by Dale Earnhardt Jr. And was I jumping for joy? Yes, I was. In fact, you can see it for yourself because it's up. The video is up on my YouTube channel. And I went to the Dover Spring Race, which was won by Jimmie Johnson. And I went to Pocono once again, which was won by Martin Truex. That was the last time I ever went to a NASCAR race. I wanted to go to the fall Dover race in 2016, as well as the Talladega race in the fall, but I never got the chance. But other than that, the first NASCAR race I went to was at Pocono Raceway in the Pennsylvania 500, which was won by Brad Keselowski in 2011. Question number 11 comes from Sprint Cup Series Lover 12, a friend of mine, and she's been a friend of mine for a year now, which is another milestone for me. But other than that, she asked me two questions. One was, what's your favorite Dale Jr. win of all time? Well, as I mentioned before, when I went to the 2014 Pocono race, the first Pocono race that is, when Dale Earnhardt Jr. won that race, when he made that pass on Brad K, and if I remember correctly, Brad Keselowski had a tire going down, which is why Dale Jr. made a slingshot on Brad K to win that race. So, my number one Dale Jr. win of all time has got to be the first Pocono race in 2014, which is a race I went to, and it's something that I'll cherish forever. Question 12. Sprint Cup Series Lover 12 also asked, what's your favorite type of movie? NASCAR IMAX 3D, because it shows the NASCAR's history, how it all started in the first place, and, well, the last time I saw that movie was back in 2012, 5 years ago in the summer, so it's been a while, so I'm trying to remember and trying to think back what I saw in that movie, and how racing control works, why there's so many race those trucks in every race. And, well, just basically how NASCAR goes and what it is today. And NASCAR is about to turn 70 years old next year, which I cannot wait for. And I guarantee you there's going to be a celebration, and I mean a huge celebration in next year's Daytona 500 for the 60th running of that race. But yeah, other than that, my favorite type of movie is NASCAR IMAX 3D. It has a lot of NASCAR's history in it, and how NASCAR really works, and they go over NASCAR safety rules and regulations. You know, basically just a bunch of NASCAR stuff, and it'll possibly help me in the future. You know, and how I can get into NASCAR. Question 13 comes from Jalen Atkins, 24. I've known him for some time now, and he asked me what inspired me to be on YouTube. I knew someone was going to ask me that in the future. I just knew someone was going to ask me that. And well, time for me to explain. If you watch my first YouTube videos in early 2014 and 2013, and by the way how I sound and my grammar and the way how I'm recording my YouTube videos, the way how I'm speaking, how my ideas were. As you get, if you do see my videos, around, that I've made in 2013 and early 2014, you can tell that I was just a complete rip-off artist, because I had no idea what I was in for, and heck, I'm going to shout this out to you guys right now. I was young back then on YouTube. I was a rookie back then. A young rookie with these 2 yellow stripes on my back and on my camera. Well, this iPad, I should say, the big iPad. In fact, I've had this big iPad for 5 years. So, I just wanted to see what the reason why I actually got on YouTube is because instead of recording, watching, and deleting videos from my photo album, I can just watch them anytime I want to, whenever I want to, wherever I want to, wherever I want to, in certain places I go on YouTube. The videos that I make, you know, instead of recording, watching, and deleting them on my photo album all the time, which I used to do in 2000, if I remember correctly, 2010 up to 2012. Around that time. And in November 2013, I started YouTube. Yeah. And if you look at my NASCAR diecast races, from January 2014 up to November, up to February or January or March.